Welcome to the August 3rd, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:01. I'll go ahead, instead of doing a roll call, so William Scales is present, Jeff Fleschauer is present, Greg Caesar is absent tonight, Lee Reeves is present, and Jonathan Langley is present. All right, so we'll start with any citizen comments. So this is the time where a citizen can be heard on any issue. If you'd like to speak on any item specific to the agenda, wait till those specific comments for that item. We have speaker cards if you want to fill those out. We have not a heavy attendance tonight, so it's mainly staff and two members in the audience. So, but if there are any citizen comments, feel free to mention those now if they're not relating to an item. All right, seeing none, we'll keep moving on here. So first item is going to be consideration of approval of the July 6, 2023 meeting minutes. Ready to entertain a motion if the board members have reviewed those.
Yeah, I move to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Okay, motion for approval made by Lee. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by William. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, minutes are approved. Staff announcements.
The only announcement I have tonight, Ariella has reached out to you, and we've set our training day. Yay! September 14th, here in the boardroom, 5 p.m. We'll see you there. We'll have snacks.
Perfect. Kept that off Jeff's birthday, right?
Yeah, we were going to celebrate the 21st.
Perfect. All right, anything else? All right, so item 2 is going to be a variance request to allow a 2.4-foot encroachment into a 5-foot side yard setback for a paved driveway for the property located at 2013 Orange Leaf Circle. Staff?
Thank you and good evening. The subject property is located at 2013 Orange Leaf Circle and is zoned PD Plan District. The setbacks are determined by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen through the adoption of a development plan and memorialized by the plat that is recorded. The platted side yard setbacks are 5 feet. A critical lot plan was submitted and approved by the Building and Neighborhood Services Department, which has established the approved plan for the driveway. The approved plan for the driveway shows an 18-foot wide driveway and is compliant with the 5-foot side yard setbacks. The existing driveway was not built according to the approved plan and is not compliant with the 5-yard side yard setbacks. The existing driveway extends farther east towards the back of the property than the improved plan and closer to the side lot line. The existing driveway is 5.07 feet from the side yard setback at the front of the property and 2.67 feet from the side lot line at the back of the driveway. This means the driveway encroaches up to 2.4 feet into the side yard setback. The applicant is requesting a variance for the existing driveway to remain as is, encroaching 2.4 feet into the side yard setback. I'll now go into staff analysis. The BZA may authorize a variance only when the request has met all 3 of the following criteria in accordance with the Franklin zoning ordinance and state law. Criteria 1. Where by reason of exceptional narrowness, shallowness, or shape of a specific piece of property at the time of the enactment of the zoning ordinance, or by reason of exceptional topographic conditions or extraordinary and exceptional situations or conditions, such a piece of property is not able to accommodate development as required under this ordinance. The approved critical lot plan shows the driveway being a reasonable width and depth and is compliant with the setback requirements. There are no exceptional topographic conditions or extraordinary conditions pertaining to the property itself that prevent the property from accommodating development as shown in the approved critical lot plan or as required under this ordinance. Staff finds this criteria is not met. Criteria 2. The strict application of any provision enacted under the zoning ordinance would result in peculiar and exceptional practical difficulties for or exceptional or undue hardship upon the owner of the property. As shown by the approved critical lot plan, there is a logical and reasonable layout which would allow the driveway to comply with the zoning ordinance requirements. For this reason, staff does not find that the strict application of any provision under the zoning ordinance creates a hardship for the owner of the property. Staff finds this criteria is not met. Criteria 3, such relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without substantially impairing the purpose and intent of the zoning ordinance. Staff finds that the existing driveway does impair the intent of the zoning ordinance. The intent of the zoning ordinance in this case is to maintain a buffer between buildings and their side lot line that is consistent along a street or within a neighborhood, and to ensure aesthetic consistency between properties. The intent in this case is also to ensure proper drainage is provided between properties. Staff did not consult with engineering on the impact of this driveway and on the drainage of the site. If proper drainage is allowed, if proper drainage is not allowed, it could result in a negative impact on the neighboring property or the street. For this reason, staff cannot determine whether or not the driveway would be a detriment to the public good. Staff finds this criteria is not met. Staff recommends that the Board of Zoning Appeals move to deny the variance request to allow a 2.4-foot encroachment into a 5-foot side yard setback for a paved driveway for the property located at 2013 Orange Leaf Circle, because the criteria for granting a variance have not been met. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, staff. Is the applicant present? If you could step forward for us and state your name for the record and your address as well, if it's not the address of the property.
My name is Shunuda Paragala. Live at 2013 Orange Leaf Circle.
Okay. And I'll ask staff if y'all could move. I think there's some good pictures. We'll probably ask a couple questions about those, but if you'd like to add anything.
Actually, I used to live in Hendersonville, and Hendersonville different from Franklin, and I don't know that, because Hendersonville, you don't have to live 5 feet. When I buy my house 2 years ago, I got 4 kids and 2 big cars, and my driveway is not enough to fit 2 cars. And the builder sent me his people working for him to extend my driveway, and I paid him $7,000 2 years ago. And I don't know about the 5 feet, because Sumner County is different. You don't have to live 5 feet. But I asked the concrete guys to do it right. He said, we know what we do. And I just pay him, and he get it done like 2 years ago. And I don't know, and I have to leave. You know, it's the reason I ask to leave, like, because I have 4 kids, 2 big cars, and I spent $7,000 2 years ago. And if I have to build it, I gotta spend more money, hiring people, you know, to move it out, and there's more money. That's it, you know. I
Okay.
got 4 kids, and my daughter, she's 12. She's gonna start driving 4 more years. I'm gonna buy another car.
Gotcha.
You know.
So the driveway was built 2 years ago then?
Yes,
Okay.
it's been 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any additional comments at all to add to staff's comments?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks so
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So next we'll open the public comment. Are there any citizen comments? All right, seeing none, were there any comments at all from the public in addition to, okay.
No.
All right, so is there a motion to close the public comment?
Motion closed.
Motion made by William. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Lee. All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, so public comment's closed. You're welcome to sit down if you'd like. If we may have some more questions for
Okay,
you, but
okay,
you can
thank
rest
you.
your feet for a couple minutes anyway. Any questions from the board at all of staff?
Well, yeah, I've got a question for staff.
Okay.
So this was built 2 years ago. It's coming before us now. How did it get from 2 years ago being built to in front of us today? What brought it here?
I think we just saw it out in the field and an NOV was issued.
Got it. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
I tell you what, staff, if you could move forward, there's some photos, I think at the back of the packet, that show kind of dimensions there. Could either staff or the applicant maybe kind of describe what those dimensions represent? I see a tape measure there. I know we're looking at a 5-foot setback. And if you don't know, okay, gotcha. But in general, we're encroaching a little over 2 feet into the side yard setback. So we're looking at, roughly,
She's talking to the microphone. You can see this dash line is the side yard lot line. And so everything over here is encroaching. It encroaches 2.67 feet at its deepest into the setback. The plans as approved through the Building and Neighborhood Services Department had the design, where did it go? Whoop, I'll have to pull it back up. This was the design submitted to the city, which got approved. So it's in
Gotcha.
a different location.
yep.
So this driveway was poured 2 years ago, right? And we do not have any complaints from anyone.
We do have a
Neighbors,
complaint.
we do have complaints.
It's my understanding that's how Building and Neighborhood Services was notified of the issue. Was
So a
that
neighbor
A
perhaps.
neighbor complained. They went out to the site and determined it was out of,
Okay.
is that correct, Lori? Okay.
That's what I was trying to get to earlier, yeah.
Any other questions from the board, kind of factual? I think we can get into motions and debates once a motion's on the floor, but if not, I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Yeah, I move to deny the request, and then we can have a conversation.
Okay. So Lee made a motion to deny the variance request. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second by William. Discussion.
Well, I understand that there's a financial impact here, but I always come back to the 3 criteria, all of which we have to meet to approve a variance. And I think that's where our conversation needs to be. And as usual, staff has done, I think, a commendable job of analyzing all 3 criteria. And even if I can see a way to find one of these criteria met, I think it may fail due to not meeting all 3. And I think we've got to overcome that hurdle if we were to approve the variance request, unfortunately. So I guess that's where I'm at on that.
I agree. I think I echo those comments. That's the challenge with the variance request is you have to meet all 3 criteria. So it's not just, one of the 3, it's not 2 of the 3, it's all 3. I mean, it's unfortunate that we're looking at this 2 years after the fact that it's been built. It is kind of how things work, just process-wise.
Well, 21 feet 9 inches is a narrow driveway when you're pulling in trying to turn into a garage. So I'm just telling you right now, his existing condition is minimal, to say the least, to maneuver. It looks to me like the house was built too far to that left property line, frankly. Therefore, it encroaches on the width of the driveway, and that's the situation he's dealing with. So it's an unfortunate error. However, it's due to the house being incorrectly placed on the lot, frankly.
Any further discussion by board members? Okay. So we have a motion for disapproval of the variance, a second. Had some discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed to the motion for disapproval?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so I've got 3 yeses. William, yes. Lee, yes. Jonathan, yes. And Jeff, no. Is that correct on everybody's votes? Okay, so variance is disapproved then. So really, last thing, that's our last item on the agenda. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Jeff. Is there a second? Second by William. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, staff and board members. Have a good night.